Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks. Talking to Americans outside of Washington, in the heartland, in our cities, and in our communities. About what matters to them. Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks starts now.
You're on Outside the Beltway. I'm John Fredericks, and I am your blowtorch of free speech in America. Thank you for being with us. Your Godzilla of the truth. We got Dave Brat coming up. Let me start though. I gotta have my 1775 coffee. Let me take a sip right here. Hang on. I just made a fresh pot. Hang on. Damn, that's good coffee. And it's affordable. If you're into affordability, 1775coffee.com. There's another coffee out there somebody's talking about on Getter that's double the price of this. And it sucks. Just saying. This is the best buy you're going to get. Best coffee ever. Go to 1775. Go to 1775coffee.com. 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla going to get you 10% off. Great Christmas presents. They got the grounds. They got the beans. They got the K-Cups. I like the premium and I like the dark roast. Medium, not so much. I'm not a medium guy. I like my coffee stronger. I like it richer. That's why I like the dark or the premium. Check it out, 1775coffee.com. Joining me now, Liberty University, Senior Executive Business Development, former Congressman, 7th District of Virginia, and Dr. PhD in Economics, Dave Brat. Dr. Brat, good to have you with us. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas, John. Thanks much, brother.
Okay, number one, got a lot of issues here. I'm looking for solutions and results, right? Ideology's over. We did that November 24. That was about ideology, philosophy, and principle. Now we got to get results because we're losing elections everywhere now, Dave. Let's get to healthcare, okay? It's December 15th. Right now, once again, we got nothing. What do we do? These Obama subsidies are going to expire. People are going to get bills in the mail they can't pay. I already told the story about what Ann and I have to pay in Washington, D.C. It's outrageous with a $7,500 deductible, $1,500 a month for two people. Unbelievable. One of the two is a 21-year-old athlete with zero body fat, okay? I mean, this is insane. People can't pay this, Dave, and these subsidies are going away. Give us the Dave Brat solution right now.
Well, there's the Dave Brat solution, and the swamp's not going to like it, but you know the two power centers that keep anything from happening are the hospital system and the insurance system. And there's middlemen all over that insurance system getting paid big bucks for delivering no value added. So healthcare is about 20% of GDP, which means it's about 20% of $26 trillion. And so these subsidies are small ball in the big picture I just described. So what they have to do is they've got to cut open the big piggy bank and take from those from the lobbyist class and give it back to the subsidies in the short run. And then the long run solution, of course, is that we cannot afford. I think it's 50% of the healthcare costs go to the about 5% of the population because of these end of life complicated cases in the hospital forever, and your heart goes out. But not everybody. We cannot afford to pay $1 million bill for every single person in this country in your healthcare system. And so we got to figure out some way of saying no to that, which is, they're going to call you every name in the book long run. This will never happen in the short run. But it has to because Medicare and Social Security are broke in 7 years, and this is the major cause. And so the best way to do it is to take the money away from those healthcare, expenditures that are tremendous, and give it to poor third grade kids in Chicago who can't read, and shift it to another liberal thing that'll raise productivity in the country, and that's what I would do.
So give me your forecast here. We got 10 days. They have no plan. They've done nothing. These subsidies are going to expire. They both bills went down in the Senate, both sides. They both went down. Democrats don't want to solve the problem. The other problem you got, Dave, is they don't want to solve the problem. Okay, because if the problem persists, they win. So they don't want to solve the problem. Here's my fear: we don't solve it. Rates go up. January 31st comes. Democrats shut the government down again. Say, well, nobody can afford health care. We have to shut the government down until you compromise with us and get a single payer system or whatever it is that they want. Government closes down again for another month. It hurts GDP again. Prices go up again. People are upset again, and we get slaughtered in the midterms. That's their plan.
Yeah, well, the one thing that people may not know, right? On this show, we've said, about 75% of the Fortune 500, the richest executives in the country, they're all Democrats. The Magnificent Seven, the richest guys in the world, Bill Gates and all those, Zuckerberg, they're all Democrats or leftists or worse, right? And it's the same with the hospital system. And so the Republicans, like I was congressman of Richmond, Virginia. I had tobacco. I had big tobacco. They wouldn't support me because they knew I was an honest guy in a Cub Scout back then. I've toughened up a little bit since then. But they would just subsidize and pay for the Democrats for their votes because they knew I was in favor of freedom. And so, that's just a typical example of how these big firms pay the Democrats off for their allegiance. The Republicans don't play that game, except Trump now. Trump's the new guy who's a wrecking ball, right? I mean, you see him, he's starting big on the world stage. He's paying for peace. He's like using these capital arrangements as an incentive to get countries to quit killing each other. And I hope he gets to that stage on the domestic front real soon because we need him quick.
So where do we go here in the short term? I mean, the next two weeks.
Yeah, no, I've been calling, texting Newt Gingrich, some other higher ups. It's just obvious the House has no plan, and we need a contract with America. When Trump came in first, I saw you on Bannon's show the other day. I think Bannon had a big old whiteboard in his office on their promises. And there were a ton of promises. And they were checking them off. Boom, 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 boom. We don't have that set of promises right now. And so the House and the Senate soon, they've got to come up with a contract for America. It can be 3 points, 7 points, 10 points, whatever. But you got to run on something and message as a team. What they do is they throw you out to the wolves, and they give $20 million to the left, the most liberal conservatives, and they give me nothing. And Bob Good, nothing. They want you to lose, and so that's no way to win Republican seats, right? So they've got to run as a team, and they have never done that in the past 40 years. So that'll be asking for a lot, but they need a contract with America.
Dave, I agree with you 100% because my concern right now, even beyond the healthcare debacle, which is very frustrating to a lot of people because Republicans did nothing in a year, and now the Democrats are taking advantage of that, and the communists, is that there's no coherent message. I mean, that is my biggest frustration. There's no coherent message about anything. And what I keep saying, why I call myself the MAGA Mandami is very simple. Okay. We have a message like his that resonates. The difference is we have creative, capitalist freedom solutions that will work. They have communism that will fail and bankrupt everybody around them. That's the difference. I mean, but we don't have either of these right now. No solutions, no message, and just running around saying Democrats are bad. That's not working. And
right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And you look at the murderers, the murders that are taking place going on here. And I was out. I heard some United Nations speeches. There's atrocities going on around the world, and the UN, the head of the UN, Guterres, and all these guys, they get up and they talk about human rights, and equality, and all these kind of things. Well, that's the whole problem. Very few countries in the world, other than the United States, and I'm not kidding you. Go Google this stuff. Very few countries, because very few religions other than Christianity have full-fledged human rights across the board for minorities. We protect the minorities and the human rights, and beyond, and we protect rights that are just made up out of whole cloth. And the other countries don't, and so it's not a fair fight. And so I want Trump to start treating human rights like tariffs. And I'm not being facetious here. He said you need reciprocal tariffs. If you're tariffing us 50%, we're going to tariff you 50%. Well, if you don't have any human rights in your country, and very few do, you're not coming over here, right? Until your country has minority protections for freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, you're not coming over here, because we're losing to these guys because they don't follow any rules, right? And so the Christian piece about being nice to everybody, that is Christian on the Sermon on the Mount level. But Romans 13, there's a whole nother level that God put in place. God put in place rulers to wield the sword. And that ain't the Sermon on the Mount, and that's not to turn the other cheek. That's the crude justice piece. And the United States, it looks like we're going to be forced into that position by these other countries and their attitudes and their behaviors toward America. They're spitting on us, burning our flag, etc. And we're inviting them in because we've been such a nice, generous country. And that's got to end. Unfortunately, that's got to end until their countries sign off on equal rights for everybody and every religion.
Dave Brat, nailing it, no doubt about it. I hope you keep the mantra up, because without any question, we need a contract. We need a contract for America. We need the Republicans to run on something. And, just running on the Democrats are bad is not going to work right now. It hasn't worked anywhere in any of these special races. It's just not working. And you got to wake up and smell the coffee and the reality of this situation. And I know people hate the word affordability now. They're starting to hate it. But it's real, Dave. I mean, people are hurting, and we're not even showing empathy.
Yep.
I mean, we're just not. And it's like, well, the tax cuts are coming. Well, okay, when they come, they come. But right now, they're not there. You haven't gotten the rebate yet. You haven't gotten the tariff rebate. Good thing, though, interest rates came down in another 0.25%. I know you got to go. Let me get your final word on that, Dave.
Yeah, well, no, you're right. And, you and I and other people, other shows I'm on, we've been saying for a year, do not cheerlead. When you got Biden 21% inflation, he just took 21% out of your retirement account. Now, for 3, prices are still going up by 2 to 3. Right? They're not going down. Inflation came down. The inflation rate came down, but prices are still going up by 2 or 3% over 21% that Biden gave us. So you cannot go and tell the American people everything's honky-dory. It is not. You need to tell them who ruined it, and which party believes in business and getting you jobs and high wages, and the other one is just selling you for a Marxist ride.
100%. See, Dave, that's the message we're not getting out. When you go around and saying, we brought inflation down, we brought it down, we brought the rate of inflation down, but the 20% Biden inflation never abated. So now we're getting 2% over that. It never abated. The prices never reverted back to where they were. So you're stuck with that. And then you got another 2% over that. And when you're trying to tell somebody, well, the rate's down, they're like, well, look at my bill. I mean, that's the issue here, Dave. And so we got to figure this out. And the messaging has been horrible on the whole thing. That's just part of it. But thanks, Dave. Thank you for your leadership. You can follow Dave Brat on Getter, Brat Economics. Dave, my best to Laura and your daughter, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Dave.
Hey, I want my size 12 slippers for Christmas. God bless everyone out there.
What size is Laura?
9.
You don't sound sure.
No, it's 9. I'm not sure men's or women's, but either will do the trick.
I'll get them out to you.
Slippers are awesome.
Dave, I'll get them out to you today because you got to have the slippers. All right, bud. Thank you.